What's happening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Good Kraken podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ernell Pearson, alongside the queen of bitchin' herself, Jenesy Gabrielle. Hi, hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm so good. How are you?
Oh, I am delighted to have you here. I'm delighted that it's just me and you. It's just me and you here to talk all about Venom, Let There Be Carnage. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm so stoked to do a show with you here. We're just like talking our shit. Just talking our shit. You know, it's gonna be good. Jenesy, how have you been? How's Let's Get Bitchin' been? Tell us about it. And for the people at home too, tell them who don't know you. Who are you?
Yeah. Oh shit, that's a question. I'm Jenesy Gabrielle. I am the host and mind behind Let's Get Bitchin'. I'm also self-employed and just a tiny little disaster out here in Portland, Oregon. I've been good. I feel like it hasn't been that long since we were on. It's been a few weeks. We saw Shang-Chi together.
Yeah. We had me, you, and Devin talking. What was the last thing that we did? What was the last thing we did?
Shang-Chi.
That's right. Yeah. Daddy, yep. Shang-Chi. Yes.
Phenomenal.
Oh, amazing,
yes.
amazing. I'm so here for it. Yes.
Right. But yeah, I've been good since then. I went to emo night last night. Dude, have you been to fucking emo night?
So my thing is I am I had to put on my doctor guy blue light glasses so I don't get a headache while I talk about this. So emo night I have some weird caveats about, because like for me it's as a musician I have a weird thing about music being played in clubs for a vast amount of people, especially things specifically for emo night, because these are musicians that already kind of have a hard time like making money as it is, and you have hundreds of people on an event listening to their music for free. I have some weirdness about it. So I've only ever been to one emo night, and it was fun.
Okay.
I made some bad choips, and it was, but it was fun. It was a fun night. I enjoyed it. It can be fun just singing those old bops that we grew up with and need in our lives to this day. You know what I mean? Did you have fun? 100%. Did you make bad choices too? I hope you made bad choices.
I didn't make bad choices. I honestly didn't make many choices. My choice was to get out of bed and go to emo night, and that's where the choices ended. And I had like 2 drinks, and I went home, and it was good. I didn't even get as drunk as I got at the Jonas Brothers concert, which is kind of disappointing.
You know what though? That's okay. Jonas Brothers deserve a drunken Jenesy getting in there, and
they really did. They really did.
Absolutely. They deserve that, but we also deserve it too, because this is the Good Kraken podcast / Let's Get Bitchin', because we do these as crossover things here. Your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday usually at 12 p.m. If you'd like that, we would please love for you to subscribe to us right down here below. Click that subscription button right down there to help us keep us pushing content out for all of you listening and or watching at home. But if you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that is totally fine. You can catch our podcast episodes on your podcast service of choice the next day at 8 a.m. But you can also support us by going down and clicking that link down there that says YouTube on there, and clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by finding our podcast on your podcast service choice by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. I did all that without the fucking show notes. Let's go. I'm killing today. We're hype.
You're doing great.
We're doing it, Jenesy. I love it. I fucking love it. Here's the deal, guys. Today is going to be our usual gig, Marvel content of all kinds. We dedicate entire episodes to just coming in here and fucking it up. All right. Today is all about Venom, Let There Be Carnage. We're going to be doing the usual gig here. We are starting out giving spoiler-free talk, spoiler-free review stuff for the first half of this episode. When we move into spoilers, we will let all of you know so you guys are not having this movie spoiled for you if you plan on seeing it or if you care. We will let you know. You can get the fuck out, go see the movie, come back. This episode will be here for you to listen to afterwards. You can hear our overall discussions and thoughts on it. In the meantime, Jenesy, are you ready to fucking do this? Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready to fucking do this?
I'm fucking ready. I'm fucking hyped.
I am so fucking hyped. Everyone, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, released on October 1st, 2021, directed by Andy Serkis. Yes, that is right. Andy Serkis himself directed this movie. That is Claw from Black Panther. That is Caesar from Planet of the Apes. That is Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Stupid hobbitses. Directed this film with a runtime of 1 hour and 37 minutes. Budget of $110 million, with so far a box office of $37.3 million. Okay, some fun trivia for us really quick. Kind of dive into a couple little things. I got 4 little pieces here, okay? Firstly, when Brock enters Mrs. Chen's shop, Venom arranges a stack of magazines for her. On the cover of those magazines is Marvel writer Stan Lee. Rest in power. Rest in power, King. The big king vibes. Running at just 97 minutes, 1 hour and 37 minutes, is the shortest superhero film to be released in recent history, more specifically since 2007's Fantastic Four, The Rise of the Silver Surfer, which ran for 92 minutes. The movie is 5 minutes longer than Silver Surfer, which is...
Wow.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
It was so short. Yeah, it was fucking short.
We're going to be talking
I've watched trailers that are longer.
Director Andy Serkis released a trailer breakdown video to IGN alongside the debut of the first trailer, in which he reveals details like that around 1.5 years have passed between the events of Venom and Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage. So it's about 1.5 years later. So that explains a couple little details there. Lastly, Andy Serkis wanted Carnage to have a quote-unquote off-kilter and strange motions that would fit his powers and nature. Quote, Cletus has real intelligence and humor, and that's reflected in the symbiote that is linked to him. Carnage's playfulness, wit, and strangeness, you just can't pin him down. Fighting Carnage would be like trying to have a fight with an octopus, basically. End quote. Serkis and his team worked with a hard group of dancers and actors on a performance capture stage to test and build out Carnage's movement. Jenesy, what are your top level thoughts on Venom Let There Be Carnage?
It was fine. It was fine. It wasn't awful. I feel like it's being dragged pretty hard. I feel like we have to keep in mind it is a Sony movie, right?
Yes.
This is Sony.
Yes, this is Sony.
I feel like I'm about to start fights. I feel like for a Sony movie, it wasn't bad. For a Sony superhero movie, it wasn't bad. Okay. If we're holding it up to like other pieces of Marvel, it was not good. But like looking at it as like what it is, it's a Venom movie. It's mostly, for all intents and purposes, standalone.
Sure.
It's not,
yeah, sure.
Not awful. It's not a zero fuck to give, as we like to say it. Let's get bitching. Like, I'm not worse off for having watching it. That being said, there are things about Venom that I really, really enjoy. That I really enjoyed in the first one. Venom, I feel like, is a really fun character in general. And I do feel like the 2 Venom movies have brought to life some really great parts of him. Tom Hardy, phenomenal. I really enjoyed Tom Hardy as Venom. And I really enjoyed him in this movie. Also, I think my biggest takeaway from this movie is that it feels less like a Marvel superhero movie to me and more like a rom-com.
Yeah, that would be totally fair. Jenesy, okay. So I have one very important question I need to start this off with here, okay? One very important.
Wait, I want your general points though.
Yes, of course. So this is going to lead into it. It's going to lead into it here. Okay.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Here's the deal. All right, I have one very important question. How did they make this absolute garbage can on fire of a fucking movie and then makes $37 million off it. Genesee,
I don't know.
for Christ's sake.
It's been like 2 days. I don't know how it's made this much money. Actually, no, I do, but it's a spoiler. I do know.
Yeah, no, I know. For sure.
That it's a goddamn spoiler.
For sure.
And it was fucking genius.
Yes.
Smart.
No, sure, for sure.
Smart.
Absolutely. Yes,
Anyway.
you are 100% right. Yeah, this movie is not good. This is a very not good movie. Like fundamentally not good. Here's the deal. Okay, what I've kind of boiled it down to is if you liked Venom 1, you will have an okay time with this movie. This is quite literally Venom 1 again.
I'm gonna level with you really quick, Ernell.
Yeah.
I did not watch Venom 1 until Thursday.
That's fine.
I watched
that's
it.
Fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I was fine.
Yeah.
My life was fine. I wasn't missing anything. I watched it Thursday and I did not leave Thursday evening being like, wow, my life is forever changed.
Yeah.
I wasn't missing anything.
Yes.
It was fine. Honestly, I could have watched Venom 2 and not had watched Venom 1, and I would have been a little confused about who the doctor dude was, but overall, I would have gotten it.
Oh, absolutely. You
know what I mean?
Jenesy,
they're both kind of useless.
Right. Oh my God. It's just I can't fucking believe that I win. Listen, okay, so Mike Moonpaw is in the chat here, and I actually went and saw this movie on Thursday night with Mike, and he knows the rant I went on in the car after this movie was done. This movie is just fundamentally not a good movie, and it suffers from all of the same shit that Venom 1 suffered from. And they said, you know what? People liked it for what it is. We're not changing shit. We're not changing fucking anything. Give it to them again. Give it to them, the 1-2 punch, the gift that keeps on giving. They had the audacity, nay, the balls to release this movie and say, you are going to enjoy this. I can't fucking believe that this movie came out. And I just can't fucking believe it. Yeah, this movie just on paper, technically, fundamentally, hypothetically, what have you, is just so very not good. It is rushed. You have zero time to invest into the characters, to care about the fucking characters because it's so rushed. There's an infinite amount of issues with Carnage as a fucking character that we will go into. We will go into. Tom Hardy as Eddie.
Carnage was a terrible character. I'm gonna be honest. Carnage is off.
Good old Cletus. Here's the deal, okay? There is some good here. There is some good here, okay?
Yeah.
Cletus Cassidy, Woody Harrelson slays as Cletus Cassidy. He acted the fuck out of this part. But the character
Woody Harrelson was too good for this goddamn movie.
He was entirely too good for this goddamn movie. Cletus Cassidy was acted
dirty
out of this fucking world by Woody Harrelson, but Cletus Cassidy was so poorly written in this movie. Like he literally, like, there's a part where he says the title of the movie. He's like, "Let there be carnage." I was like, "Stop! You fucking did not." Which is
like never a good idea. That's never a good idea.
You don't do that.
The only time that is like somewhat okay is like in the Avengers when they do the obligatory Avengers Assemble, and it's always cringy. That's the only reason it's okay is because we know it's going to be awful, and we expect it's going to be awful. And honestly, the Endgame Avengers Assemble was probably one of the best because you know that Chris Evans was sitting here like, this is going to be the worst line in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it.
Yep.
Like, that's the only time that it's okay. And it was unnecessary. It wasn't okay. Just don't do it. If you're writing a script and you're like, oh, I'm going to put in the title of the movie, go touch some grass.
I can't.
Take a break.
I can't believe. Now here's the deal. Like it was not without its redeeming qualities. It did have some things in it that were okay. The rom-com aspects of it were great. It was fun.
Those were iconic.
It was
Honestly,
absolutely.
I think if they had leaned into it and like forgotten the like villain guy, forget about Carnage, forget about it, like leave him alone until the last like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We'd be okay. And just like have more of this weird like romantic couple squirrel thing happening between Venom and what's his face.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like it was gay coded as hell, right? Like it was
yeah.
Oh, they handled it like a relationship, like absolutely like a relationship. Everything about it was like a relationship, and so it was like they handled the rom-com side of things very well. The actors did a good job acting it, but it was just like what they were given, it was just like, God, like I feel so bad. There's 4 Emmy winners in this fucking movie. There's not Emmy, Oscars. There's 4 Oscar-winning actors in this movie. They all acted the shit out of this movie, but the writing was so bad for each character they were playing. I was like, I don't give a fuck about any of you. Any of you.
But that's... Yeah, no, for real. For real. They're also, like... The like female love interest being in this movie was pointless, which I love the actress who plays her. I just recently watched Dawson's Creek, and so when we were watching the trailer, when we saw Shang-Chi, Naomi like had no idea of any of the trailers that we were watching except for the fucking Jackass trailer and Dear Evan Hansen, and she was like, but Michelle Williams comes onto the screen and she's like, it's Jen from like she's wonderful. She's also like she's the wife in the Greatest Showman. She's great.
Yes.
Her character did not need to be in this fucking movie because their love story doesn't make any fucking sense. I wasn't even really rooting for them from the beginning. I'm sure as hell not rooting for them now.
Dude, oh my God.
The only reason that she should stick around is if she gets her own Venom.
Yeah, which technically she did. Technically, they have She-Venom. Yeah. They technically do. And even then, it still did not redeem the fact that she was not needed in this movie. Let alone, we'll get into it.
I want her to be the villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
We'll dive into the spoilers, but.
But that's like, I mean, what you were talking about with Woody Harrelson is he acted the shit out of the role. I feel similar to Tom Hardy. I was watching him. I mean, and you have to think about him filming these scenes. Like, it's so fun because he's sitting here talking to himself. Tom Hardy is just like confessing his love to himself. He's yelling at himself. Like he's having like these whole like emotional outbursts, like throwing shit at the wall at himself. Like it's amazing. I don't know if we were recording when we talked about this last time, but like we were talking about me having technological issues and my computer telling me that I had to give myself permissions. That's how it felt. It was like me with my fucking computer, like having to look in the mirror, be like, yes, you can do it. Except Tom Hardy actually did it not stupidly, you know?
Right. For sure. His
character is not good. Like, I have a hard time rooting for his character at times because it's like, his character is boring.
Well, and then not even just like his character, but it's like just the overarching like story of everything and how it's coming about. They did not write any of this movie in a way that would make me give a shit about anybody. Like, I don't give a shit about. I hardly know why he's fighting Carnage. Like they're literally they're fighting because Carnage bad guy is bad guy. Like that's it. Like it's just I just don't understand how they thought that like everything leading up to that would make things make sense. Because they don't. Like, they could have done this, like you said, they could have done this entire movie as a fucking rom-com, and it would have been just as impactful, let alone memorable, as what this is that we got instead. I don't understand how Sony is still pumping out superhero movies and making just enough money. It's our fault. It's our fault.
It's our fault. We're the problem. We're the problem. You want to fucking know why? We need to go look in the mirror.
We are giving them just enough money to keep justifying making these fucking movies. God damn it. God fucking damn it.
when we look at those statistics of like Venom made a shocking opening weekend, we expected 5 people to go, but they actually made like $53 million. That's us or now. We're a part of
I
that
know
fucking
it's us.
statistic.
It's us, and it's for content. I guess it's our.
It's for content. It's not my fault.
Oh no! I guess we're gonna get our return on investment. I don't know. I don't fucking like. God damn it! Like,
I'm writing this shit off on my taxes.
oh my god! Yeah,
ticket.
we're getting close. We're getting close. We're getting there. No, it's just like this movie had such a chance to redeem the issues that Venom had, and they didn't care enough. They like this movie just felt like it was written in a fucking afternoon, and they said we got to push this out. We got to start production now because it's just like it's so empty. It's so empty.
And I really think it's as simple as Sony does not fucking learn from their problems, partially because they don't have to. Also, though, I do have to give Sony this. They're not DC, and that DC tries to learn from their problems by doing what Marvel does, but they do it shitty. At least Sony is like, we're just gonna make a movie. Is there rhyme? Is there reason? Did they even have a script, or did they just like throw out ideas and they were like, Tom Hardy, go for it. Just say something. You got this.
To me, it's just like they like. The Spider-Man is in the MCU. He's in the MCU. And that is still technically a Sony property. How in the world are they seeing Spider-Man making as much money as he is, as a character in the MCU, doing the things that they do with Spider-Man in the MCU, and they still come up with products like this? It's not even just like DC, like they're trying to learn and they're trying to copy and they're not doing it very well.
Right.
They're not even trying to learn at all with Sony. Like
Also, though, at this point, I don't want them to, because I don't want Sony keeps thinking that they're like, I don't know what Sony's thinking, but like they keep being out here like, oh, Marvel, you better behave or we're not going to give you Spider-Man for another movie. And I'm like, shut up and take their money, Sony. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes you.
God damn it.
We want him in the MCU.
I know. And it's just, and the thing that like shocks me too is like, they sometimes give us good movies. Days of Future Past for X-Men, phenomenal.
Very good.
Phenomenal fucking movie. A couple of Wolverine movies. Spider-Verse, yes.
Spider-Verse?
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Amazing. I'm just asking for some goddamn consistency. I just like, can we just, who the fuck is the producer? Like, Kevin Feige has been working for the MCU for the better part of 2 decades now, and they knew that worked. Who is the producer for these Sony like superhero movies? Who are they just rotating whoever the fuck they want to rotate? I don't understand. I don't get it. Like Venom is a beloved character, a beloved Marvel character, and how they just threw this onto the chopping block.
He's such an interesting character too.
Yes.
Like whether or not he's popular, he's a fascinating fucking character. Like he successfully does the anti-hero so fucking well, and it's so goddamn hard to be a good anti-hero. I'm not going to entertain the idea that people have that like Venom isn't supposed to be comedic, because I personally have some caveats against it because of how much they lean into it, because Venom in the comics does have some comedic value. Like he does have some quips and some things. I just don't feel like they handle the comedy with him very well. And that is reflective in both this movie and Venom 1. Like they always handle his character as more of a like prepubescent child that's like throwing a fit at all times. And I wish they would give us this version of Venom that is that when he's upset about something, but not all the time. Like I want dark Venom. And I was hoping that with them introducing Carnage into this, that could potentially give that to us. I was hoping that they would take more of a serious push in this story, because Carnage, for everyone who knows Carnage from the comic books, is an absolute twisted fucking monster. And there's space for that to be more of a serious story. And again, we'll get into it in the spoilers, but like
There was so much opportunity here. There is so much opportunity here, and they just let it fucking fall to the wayside. I don't get it. I don't understand it anymore. And it's breaking my heart going to these movies thinking, oh, they'll figure it out this time.
And they don't. They never
goddamn do. They never goddamn do. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Now, with that said, though, like I said, mentioned earlier, there is some redeeming qualities to it. The comedy that they do have has some pretty decently funny parts. It didn't hit me the way I wanted them to. They didn't hit the way I wanted them to, but there was some stuff in it that was pretty damn hilarious. They handle following up with the story in Venom 1 pretty decently well. It doesn't stand, the movie itself doesn't stand alone very well, but it is a good follow-up to Venom 1 as far as like connecting those two stories together. There is a few decent like action scenes in this, and I was a little bit surprised that they did have a few different like decent action scenes in this. I just wish that everything outside of those action scenes would have been better. I think this movie suffers mostly from the fact that from two very important things is one, it was entirely too short. I feel like if they had the extra 30 minutes to develop stuff more around what was going on with Carnage and why Venom and Carnage were going at it, I think it would have made it a better movie, generally speaking. I also feel like this movie suffers a lot from not being rated R. We will dive way deeper into that in the spoilers, because I've got some fucking thoughts on that. But I think that if this movie was rated R, they could have committed to just going there the way that Logan does, the way that Deadpool does, and we could have gotten way better of a product using a character like Carnage and a character like Venom in one movie. It should have been fucking rated R. This movie should have been rated R.
Yes.
Yeah.
It should have. And now it gave me big like PG-13 Deadpool vibes. And there's no reason for anything to get that gives off Deadpool vibes to be PG-13. It's a fucking waste.
Yeah. Jenesy, I just yeah, I spent a majority of the movie just kind of just shaking my head at things happening, and I
honestly, it's so funny because I didn't look before how long it was going to be. And I have a superpower, and my superpower is timing my pee breaks during Marvel movies specifically.
Ooh,
I time my pee breaks incredibly because, as you probably know by now, I have the smallest bladder on the planet. Like, I can't even go recording an episode without like having to go to the bathroom.
Sure.
And so it is like my superpower to go at exactly the right time. Also, Marvel movies are great because they follow a pretty good like flow. You know, where I can usually time it between like big fighting sequence and like some sort of like big emotional reveal, and just go when they're having like meaningless dialogue. And the exception to that was Infinity War and Endgame. Those were really hard to find bathroom break times, but not impossible.
Because those hit. It was just one thing after another in those movies. They're
really fast.
I still can't pee her in those movies. I'm telling you, it's
those I had to see multiple times in the theaters.
I mean,
and then time my pee breaks at like different. Well, yeah, but
at different times.
I didn't go to the bathroom. Yeah, I do. No, I totally do. And I remember it's a problem. I didn't have to go to the bathroom during this fucking movie, and I was like waiting because I was like, this movie's going too fast. Like, this has to be the big fight scene, right? But like, I just barely have to go to the bathroom. What's happening? And then the movie ended, and I watched the post-credit scene, and I was like, I guess I can go to the bathroom now? It's over?
Jenesy, oh boy.
I was so confused. I was just sitting in the movie theater like, all right, I guess we're all leaving. And it was
I mean, you're 100% right, because it goes to what I was saying. The movie just moves so quick. It's so rushed about everything. Like
Mhm.
they're like, oh, this is happening to this person, and then this is why they're doing this, but now this is why they're doing this present day, and then he's gonna do this because of this guy, and all of it's just a fucking massive hour and a half long like landslide of just things happening, and none of it was memorable. Like none of it was
No.
honest to God, I don't even think I'm gonna remember what the fuck is going on in this movie a week from now. Like I really
I've
will not.
already forgotten what happened in what Venom 1. I literally just watched it 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And I already forgot
Yeah.
Venom 1. So yeah, it's a matter of time before I forget Venom 2.
It just breaks my heart. And like, granted, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, this movie is for people that enjoyed Venom 1. If you liked Venom 1, you'll like this. Like this is just more
Or if
Venom
you're
1.
bored. Like
Or
if you're bored,
yeah, yeah.
like I think like what I was saying at the beginning of like it's not awful if you look at it through the right lens. Like I had nothing better to do with my Friday afternoon, so I went to the movies, got some new shampoo, watched Venom 2. You know? And that
Right.
was fine because I wasn't going to do anything better with my Friday afternoon. If I had had another option, I would have been upset.
That's fair.
I could have been
That's fair.
finishing Stranger Things right now. Why the fuck was I watching Venom 2? But no,
Oh,
I didn't have that problem.
God. Oh my god. Oh my god. Genesee, on your 3-point scale, where would you put this movie?
Yes.
And would you recommend people see it in theaters?
Okay. At Let's Get Bitchin', we have a 3-point scale that actually only has 2 numbers. It's confusing and we love it. It is called the fucks to give scale. At the bottom end of our scale is 0 fucks to give, which is, I hate this movie. It was awful. I'm worse off for having watched this movie. 1 fuck to give is, in the words of our Lord and Savior, Taylor Swift, it isn't love, it isn't hate, it's just indifference. And 2 fucks to give is, I love this movie. It changed my life. I don't know how I lived without this being in my life.
Absolutely. Yes.
This movie for me gets a 0.5 fucks to give, which is bad. Most movies get somewhere between a 1 and a 2. It's really hard for movies to get a 0 fucks to give for me.
Sure.
It's really hard.
Sure.
0.5s are you're almost a 0 fucks to give. But I don't like actually want you to burn in hell.
Yeah.
Because then I'd have to live with you for the rest of eternity, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Because we're all going there. We're all going there.
'Cause we're all going to hell.
Yeah.
Anybody who's having a good time is going to hell. So I would say 0.5 fucks to give. I personally probably wouldn't recommend this movie. I would honestly wait until the post-credit scene is put on YouTube and just watch the post-credit scene is what I would recommend, because the post, and that, like, Naomi asked me when I got out, she was like, how was it, babe? And I was like, the implications of the post-credit scene are very exciting. That was it. That's all I had to say.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the movie, like, I don't even know. So that's what I would say. What about you, Ernell? How many fucks do you have to give about Venom, Let There Be Carnage?
So official good Kraken rating I will give here for us. This movie is going to hit a very, very strict, like, 5 out of 10. And that's giving it some credit. That's like, there were a couple redeeming qualities that I thought would made it higher than a 4. I personally and emotionally and fundamentally want to give this a 4 out of 10. But I'm going to put it at a 5 because there was some stuff in here that legitimately made it a little bit more fun than it could have been. And I can't notch that off too much, but 5 out of 10, I refuse to give it any higher than that. I can't allow myself to morally give this higher than that. 100% I would agree. Don't see this in theaters. I could not recommend this movie enough as a theater experience. It was just so not worth the money. You are way better off just waiting until it's available on Amazon to rent or Redbox or some shit like that, because this is not a movie experience that you absolutely need. As you mentioned, wait until the post-credit scene leaks onto the internet and you can find a video of it in decent quality. Literally, I'm honestly convinced they made this movie just to pump out the post-credit
For that scene.
That's it. Like they that's 100%. All they fucking did it for. With that said, guys, we're going into full spoiler mode. If you do not want spoilers, please go. I love you. Be good. Come in and hang out on Tuesday. We got another episode going on. And go watch the movie at some point or another. Come back, listen to this. We'll be here. In the meantime, it is spoiler time. Get the fuck out. We love you guys. Jenesy.
Hey. Yes.
Jenesy. Just. Okay. Where do we want to start here? Do we just want to start with good or do we want to start with bad? Do we want to start in between? We just want to go from the beginning of the movie. Let's
start with. Okay, I have an idea. Let's start with good, go to bad, and then go to the post-credit scene.
Okay. Sick. Okay. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Good. They like I mentioned before, the actors acted the hell out of this movie. They did. Tom Hardy's relationship with Venom in this, kind of carried the whole movie for what it was. Because it was just like, oh, okay, like this is reminiscent of Venom 1. Tom Hardy is interesting in this because he's very fundamentally like we know who Eddie Brock is now from Venom 1. He's now in this doing the things that he's doing in this fucking movie, and god damn it, this movie exists. Anyways, doing the things he's doing in this movie, but they do such a good job of like really pushing, because the first movie was very buddy cop, right? Very, very buddy cop,
right?
And that worked in its favor. It was okay, cool. Like this is a buddy cop sort of like situation here, and this is very much rom-com. They very much committed to it being a rom-com, and it's like their relationship together stumbling the way that it is. Like
they did that super well. Like, especially considering how many things in this movie were done poorly, they sold the rom-com feel exceptionally.
Yeah, because it's like when they're having the argument in the apartment and they're having their split up. That
was very fun. I really loved it.
It was really good. They have a fight scene in a weird way where like they beat the shit out of each other for like 5 minutes, and then like having Venom do the symbiote equivalent of storming out of the house was some of the funny, like the way they handled like a rom-com breakup in this by making it symbiote was hysterical. Like the fact that like the fact that they did their breakup and they show sort of like a resemblance of what the post breakup emotion is. Right. Tom Hardy's doing what Tom Hardy's doing, Venom's doing what Venom's doing. It's just like usually
Venom
you see
is
that
like literally killing people because he's trying to like move on to another host.
Yeah.
And the hosts keep dying because no one but Tom Hardy can support him.
Yeah. What's up, Devin? We're in spoilers. I don't know if you still want to hang out. Hi, Devin.
Hi,
Devin's
Devin.
in the chat. Hi, baby boy.
I love you.
We are in spoiler mode, so be
I'm
prepared.
Sorry you're sick.
Yeah, he's been a sick boy this week. He's been like real fucking sick.
I definitely thought you were saying he was a sick dick as like a nickname. Also, I don't know if it was my dyslexia or I just like assumed it was a typo because you said duck and I read sick dick and I was like, yes, that makes sense.
That's fair. He
is a sick dick.
He is a sick
Devin,
dick. You're
you
right.
sick dick.
You sick little dick. You sick fucking dick, Devin. You bad boy. Anyways, so the way they handle the post breakup, like in a rom-com, right? We see like they get into the fight, they break up, they're like stumbling in their lives. They go like
the melancholy music plays.
The little piano.
Like the lake.
She goes to her sister's house, and she's like sat on the couch, and then he's at home alone in the fucking dark, brooding, and like the usual like rom-com tropes. They did all of those things, but added a symbiote skin on top of it, and so that turned into, instead of like she goes to her sister's house, Venom goes to a rave.
goes to a rave and like is basically like acting drunk, and like it's like you guys are the best. Like I mean, that was incredible.
They put
and everyone in the club too was like, yeah, you better about him. Like that was incredible.
He had a fucking monologue at the at the rave where he bitched about his boyfriend. Like they nailed it. They fucking nailed that. That was great. Him just stumbling through trying to find hosts, killing people left and fucking right on accident, and then finally ends up at Mrs. Chen's doorstep to him killing the final and being like, please help me. Like, it was so fucking rom-com in like the best goddamn ways. They handled that so well. They do a couple things that are like very interestingly cool in this that are also simultaneously not very cool. They made Shriek a mutant, and that's the thing that I was talking about, how that like moves. We'll dig into it later with post-credit scene stuff, but that kind of has some stuff that's carrying into MCU now. We'll get there. Shriek is a mutant, and I was both kind of hyped about that, but also at the same time very bummed out because I wanted symbiote Shriek. And I almost said Screech. Yeah, it's Screech, the little boy, the little teenage boy, and he the teenage boy. What's happening, guys? Anyways, Shriek.
I mean, hey, that would follow the continuity of this movie if they just throw him in there.
Honestly, that would have been ffine. It would not have made the movie any better or worse. Let's be fucking real.
I would have been like, oh yeah, of course.
Because in the comics, Shriek is a symbiote. She gets a suit, and she has the same abilities. She has big, long, yellow hair, looks fucking terrifying. Is actually one of Carnage's children, as well as, and some people might know this, the cop in the movie Mulligan, in the comics, is the symbiote Toxin, and Carnage's other child. And so there's like, there's so much in this is what I'm talking about. It's like there's so much in this movie that they could have done right, that they could have done, and they just chose not to in such a weird way. Like,
and I think what's really interesting about that too, like considering different things from the comics, is that when making a movie from comic books, people act like it's easier, like it's not a delicate thing to do. They're just like, oh yeah, these superhero freaks will show up to everything, and like you're not wrong. Obviously, I watched it on its release day. Like, yes, this Marvel freak will show up to anything, but it is a delicate process. Like you can't just like throw shit into a movie, and that's what they did with Carnage. And I think that really is why it's so bad, is because like I was sitting here and like I typically don't look into a lot of the comic book stuff before the movie comes out. With like, there's some that I've like, because obviously this is not the first time Venom has been around. He was in the previous Spider-Man movies, so like I know different variations of Venom and all of that shit.
Yeah.
But because like the Spider-Man comics are just like the horse that they will not stop beating to death. Like nobody will stop beating the Spider-Man horse.
To be fair, do we count Topher Grace? Do we count Topher Grace as Venom? Do we count that? Arguably, Topher Grace as Venom / Eddie Brock in the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans is arguably more criminal than this or Venom one would ever be. Let's be real.
I love that. Yeah, no, that's fair. And I think that's too, is like the movie, like the visual representations that we're getting of Venom are really upsetting because he's such an interesting character on the page. And but so I think with Carnage, I specifically had a problem with Carnage because they brought Carnage in and didn't explain to us anything about him. They didn't, I mean, like, your mind was just supposed to take you places, right? Because it seemed like okay, so obviously the blood thing, like the serial killer drank his blood, and then that like made some sort of like variant or whatever. Oh no, low key is coming out for me, but like like it made some sort of like
Carnage is
like
actually
I
Venom's
was
sister,
thinking
and he's gonna fuck Carnage next. That's coming in Venom 3. Let there be more
let there be
Carnage.
incest.
Yeah. Let there be incest. Oh
I told
no!
you, Ernell.
Oh no! Are we greenlighting this? Let there be gators. Let there be gators.
Let there be gators.
Oh boy!
Whenever like you and I are left alone, or me and Devin, shit just goes off the wall. I'm sorry.
I know.
I need 2 supervisors at all time.
Oh god, we need Raven or HR in here to no, it'd be worse. If it was me, you, and Raven, it would be terrible. Oh my god, it'd be terrible. Raven.
I don't think I've met Raven.
You will. Me, you, and Raven would be absolute chaos. We might need you to not meet Raven just yet. At least not on a show. We'll just keep it off a show at first.
I love chaos. Maybe you guys
God.
can come over to my show, because chaos, like, I love coming to Good Kraken because it reminds me of what like a well-organized podcast is about. Whereas like Let's Get Bitchin', our brand is like, I am a chaos demon, but it's pink.
Yeah, it's Venom 2 versus Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah, exactly. I was like
in the Hello Kitty world,
yes,
like everything's
of course,
sparkly and fluffy.
See, joke's on you is that our guys has worked, because we are very much Peter B. Parker and into the Spider-Verse. We look the part, but really we're just a mess. Really, just internally we're all a mess, and that's why you're here. That's why you're here, because you two are a mess.
That's why we get along. Yeah,
because I
am Squirrel Girl.
Yes. Yes. Period. It's scientifically proven.
Also, I want to thank you for giving me that, because I went and blew like $60 at.
I saw that.
Bridge City.
I saw that. Oh my god. We'll talk about it off show.
Another time.
I digress. I'm excited to hear about this.
But what I was saying about variants, because I was thinking actually more like an actual disease, like the Delta variant. Right? Carnage is basically the Delta variant, right?
Yeah.
And so I was thinking of it like that, right? But they didn't tell us shit. And then Venom is scared as fuck when he sees Carnage, right? And he like doesn't even want to fight him.
No explanation for why.
No explanation.
I was
the thing is,
praying that there would be some sort of like species like hierarchy. Like that he explains, like, oh, he's a red one, they're fucked up on my planet. Something. Like
or like, because I was thinking, that's what I was saying, like we really had to use our imaginations, which you should never let a Marvel fan do. Don't let us use our imaginations.
Nope.
Tell us what we're supposed to think.
Yep.
Shit gets scary when we're left to our own devices.
Yeah.
And which is exactly what the internet is doing right now with like the Eternals are about to come out. Fucking Doctor Strange. Fucking the Spider-Man.
Yep.
It's a scary place to be. But so I'm sitting here and I'm thinking like it would make sense that Carnage would be a scarier version if they're really leaning into the idea of it being a mutated like gene variation of Venom, right? Which is what it seems because of the whole blood thing. But they really didn't tell us shit. And when you're coming from the comic books, this is why you have to be so delicate and methodical about it. Because there are so many different ways that Venom and Carnage and all of the different characters can go from the comics, which is what makes the MCU so fun. Because the MCU, they bring to life a character that could be totally different from what happened in the comics, but bringing in those bits and pieces. That's why Wanda is so much fun, because she brings to life some of the best parts of Scarlet Witch. And they were able to like grow her powers in such a way that was just incredible to see. I mean, we got like what 8 to 10 years of her like really growing into her power, and we got to see more and more things come out of the comics
Right.
that were just incredible. And Venom, for the life of them, cannot, like, not just, but Sony, for the life of them, cannot get that, like, the artistic part of bringing a comic book to life that you have to get to make a good superhero movie.
Well, they keep rushing things. They keep rushing things. Also, Husky in the chat. Hi, BB. Just letting you a reminder for all of you at home that are currently watching this. We are in full spoilers for Venom: Let There Be Carnage. Fair warning. If you don't want spoilers, get out. I love you. Come back. Later. We'll talk more about incest. Anyway, yeah, you don't want to miss it.
Sorry, I didn't need to take us there. Also, though, like you could just listen to us because it's probably better than watching the movie anyway.
You're probably not missing much. It's like honestly, we're giving you the entire synopsis right now. Like it's
not to toot our own horn, but we're 10 times more interesting than these fucking movies.
I mean, let's be real here. You're right. They sort of left everything for us to be left with our own devices, and it made for so much like they had an exposition in places that didn't need exposition, and then they didn't have any exposition in places that we did absolutely need them. Like, why is Carnage red for people that didn't read the comics? Why is Venom terrified of him? Why does Venom not know that Carnage is his son? What is this relationship between Cletus Cassidy and Eddie Brock? Why is Cletus Cassidy obsessed with him? Like we got more exposition.
That didn't make any sense.
We got more exposition about Cletus Cassidy being in love with Calypso from Pirates of the Caribbean, who looks beautiful in this, by the way. Oh my god. This is my first time seeing her in something not being Calypso, and I'm here for it. I hope she has an OnlyFans. So anyways, we're gonna she
You know who has an OnlyFans? You know who has an OnlyFans?
Tom Hardy?
Fucking Tyler Posey from Teen Wolf.
Oh, no way.
Yes, he fucking does.
Oh, no way. That's a smart business move.
And he came out as bisexual on his OnlyFans because he's a fucking icon.
Oh, that's
love that man.
Hey. Oh, did you not to derail again because we have a habit of doing that. Did you hear that they're doing an Aeon Flux show with the writer, director, and producer of Teen Wolf?
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah,
they're doing a what show?
Aeon Flux, the sci-fi movie with Charlize Theron.
Oh,
yeah, they're doing a show for it, and the Teen Wolf team is doing it, and I'm like, I didn't want this. I did not want this for Aeon Flux. That's not what I wanted, but sure.
They're also making a Teen Wolf movie.
Yeah, they are. That's doing
coming out next year.
They're doing that.
And it's fucking wild. Actually, this can reconnect to fucking Venom because I had a thought about
segue it, Jenesy. Get that segue in.
I just watched Teen Wolf for the first time ever, which doesn't make sense because I am the perfect age to have had watched Teen Wolf when it came out, but I didn't. I watched it for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And then the fucking Teen Wolf movie was announced and I lost my shit. One of the best characters in Teen Wolf is a banshee. Okay? Stay with me.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Mama
if
Calypso.
you're unfamiliar with the lore around banshees are actually a really interesting supernatural creature. They have all sorts of different, like most supernatural creatures, they have all sorts of different powers that you can choose to like pull from in their personification when you're creating a character around that creature.
Because they're technically ghosts, right? They're technically ghosts in like most lore. Like wailing ghosts?
In most lore.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wailing ghosts. Yeah. So in Teen Wolf, it's not a ghost, it's like an actual kind of anyway.
Sure. Spoilers for Teen Wolf.
we're not talking about Teen Wolf. But they use their voice to like communicate different things, but there are also like pathways to the afterlife. Which is what you're coming in with, like, the ghost thing. And so when we saw Shriek come in, I thought she was a fucking banshee. I really thought she she was a fucking banshee. And I was like, no, this isn't that world. Like, obviously she's a mutant. But I think it would be really interesting if we had more of like obviously they're talking about mutants, but like if we had a sort of cross between like the supernatural like banshee shit and like a Venom character. You know, like I want. What are they called? The goopy things, like when they're not attached to another person.
Symbiotes.
Symbiote.
Yeah.
Symbiote. I would love like a symbiote crossed with a banshee.
That'd be pretty rad. I mean, that's kind of what Shriek's supposed to be in the comics, or something like that. But like,
right, and that's what I thought they were doing.
No, I would have hoped.
I got so fucking excited. I got so fucking excited. Right? I was like, oh. We got like a banshee symbiote, but no. Teen Wolf is just invading my life.
I know. Now, actually, leading into kind of taking from that and moving into like more talk about Carnage himself. So the biggest reason that I said that this movie struggles not being rated R is because Carnage is supposed to be just this violent, visceral, mindless, reckless, destructive creature that is running around slaughtering and killing and raping for literally little to no fucking reason, and they hardly touch on this. Like after the prison break scene, they essentially Carnage is tame for the rest of the movie. Like relatively, like relative to who Carnage is supposed to fucking be, he does hardly anything that you don't see from virtually every other bad guy.
He should be tearing through the fucking city. Just like he doesn't just get from point A to point B.
Fucking shop.
They have him driving a car. Carnage should not be driving a car. In what world is Carnage driving a car?
A convertible.
And not
a convertible,
like, a convertible and not rampaging through that fucking city. Like,
yeah.
He should be like full on beast mode the whole time, tearing down buildings. But no, they have him driving a fucking convertible.
And because it's not rated R, these scenes that they do have that do kind of touch on this personality of Carnage aren't really shown. Yeah. They're scene cutting left and right from every scene that could be doing Carnage justice because they just can't show it. And I'm just like, you
because
guys,
they're fucking pussies.
They couldn't fucking commit. No, I don't think it's because they're pussies. I think it's because they know that they wanted money off of this movie, and Venom was going to, like, Venom as an IP was going to make them that money, but not if it was rated R. If it was rated R, they wouldn't have been able to make as much movie because Venom, based on Venom 1, already had pre-established that there are kids that enjoy Venom as a character. And to suddenly have Carnage in here just sickling through people's torsos and cutting off heads and kicking them like soccer balls and shit, it wouldn't have cut it. Like, kids wouldn't have been able to see this movie, and people would have been less wanting to go see it in theaters.
And I think that's something that is a huge critique that I have, not just for Venom, but for the movie industry in general. And I think that that's going to start changing because we're already seeing the movie industry change. I mean, pre-COVID, but like, especially during COVID, we saw a much larger release straight to streaming platforms, which allows a lot more flexibility with ratings. Because these kids are gonna, like, whoever the fuck wants to watch it is gonna watch it because it's on Netflix, and like,
yeah.
If it's rated TV-14, you can't differentiate a control between TV-14 and TV mature on Netflix. It's either you're watching the kitty movies or you're watching whatever the fuck. And so...
and trust me, you are watching whatever the fuck.
You never know what you're getting. Like, you could be sitting here watching Elite. You could be sitting here watching fucking Sex Life. I'm
pretty sure I watched
Zombie
Zombiever and Thanksgiving on Netflix for the first time. I'm pretty sure those were my first time experiences was on Netflix. And Lord knows those movies aren't supposed to be watched by anybody.
No, for real though. And so I think that specifically in terms of, like, we're talking about a bigger problem of censorship, right?
Yeah.
And language, censorship of language, which I think that the whole R rating system in general of it being like 17 plus is bullshit. I'm sorry. I hate to break this to you parents out there, but your 13-year-old knows the word fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do.
They know
do.
the word fuck.
So.
They probably use it with their friends at school. Have you watched Stranger Things? That's your fucking 11-year-old.
Yeah.
I hate to break this to you, but that is 11-year-old representation. Fucking Stranger Things, them running around calling each other pussies and being like, "You shit face, you son of a bitch." The little curly-haired kid cursing is my favorite thing on this planet. I was like, oh man, I carried that energy as a 13-year-old.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. I was a mess at 13. I get it. It's just like they. I don't know.
And that's to say, like, they should have let him say fuck. They should have. I mean, they had one. They did use the one fuck in this movie.
because each like PG movie is allowed one fuck. One fuck.
PG-13.
I love like trying to see like what their fuck is gonna be. I was talking to Xander about it last night, but they wait, was it Xander? I think it was Xander. No, it was I forget who I was talking to about it. They did their one fuck, and it was almost good. It was almost okay. It was almost all right. Like it worked for the part, but nothing is going to beat the fuck from Wolverine, where he says like "go fuck yourself" or something like that. When like the guy comes up to him and is trying to get his attention or whatever. That was like the hardest in history. But I don't even want to like split hairs on it because it's like this movie just should have been fucking rated R. It just should have been fucking rated R. And like they did Carnage such an injustice not having it be rated R because his character is so Deadpool, it's not even fucking funny. Why is Deadpool out here slaughtering, cutting people's heads off, but Carnage is not?
But Carnage isn't.
His name is Carnage.
Isn't.
His name is Carnage. And he did not create any Carnage. Like he maybe one part where he bites the priest's head off, and they don't even show that.
God.
They don't even fucking show that. He's just like power up, and then bites the head, and the scene cuts to Venom's reaction as he's biting off the head, and then the next scene they come back and he's turning and he's already like getting bigger. Like they don't even show the priest's body dangling or anything. Like none of it. It fucking broke my heart.
And it's like, I think that goes back to what we were saying earlier about them placing the name of the movie in there, is that he was like, what he says too was like, he's like, let there be carnage. Like he's making all this, you aren't even making that much more carnage. Like my dog makes more carnage with her toys.
I also
I don't know.
I just want to clarify too. He doesn't even say it like that. He says it like, let there be carnage. Like, Woody fucking Harrelson, you son of a bitch. Why? Like, what? Who allowed you to do it like that? Did they tell you to do that? Please tell me they told you to do that. I tasted blood before, and that's not it. Like, it is.
Good. I enjoyed that. That was awful.
God damn it, Woody Harrelson.
I tasted blood before.
I just
Good
can't.
for you, honey. Good for you.
Go
Also,
on,
I do
sorry.
have to say, he wasn't a convincing serial killer. I think that he did a great job. Like, Woody Harrelson was a lot of fun, but like, his character wasn't like I just took him as like every other creepy dude, not like a really like methodical, intimidating serial killer. I mean, like, for God's sake, like he gets his hands on this man that he's obsessed with and he bites his wrist.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. Like that, like I just they hardly allowed him to be reckless and mindless and violent. Like he was out in the city halfway through the movie, and I was more convinced that he's just in love than he is a serial killer. Like nothing about it came off as serial killer to me. He was just a serial
killer. Yeah, what kind of serial killer gets out of prison? And like, okay, I did enjoy him like slaughtering the like guards and shit, but also he only went for the ward and the guards. He didn't kill any of the inmates. I'm like, you're telling me you've been here this whole time and you don't want to kill any of these motherfuckers?
Oh, and the best part with that too, they purposely show him not kill any of the inmates and only kill the security guards. and they had no follow-up on why he did that. No explanation.
Because why?
Like,
they don't give any reason for anything. Fucking movie.
Like zero exposition is infinitely worse than too much exposition. Infinitely worse. Like the Fast and the Furious movies have too much exposition, and those are still fucking kicking to these fucking days. This movie had none, and I had no clue what the fuck was happening a majority of the goddamn time. Like,
but at the same time, like, the exposition that they do give to shit doesn't make any sense. Like, the heterosexual romances got so much exposition. I'm like, this isn't the rom-com part of the rom-com. Like, we don't care about these bitches. I'm sorry. The only time I'll ever say I don't care about these bitches is in fucking Venom.
When she's talking to Eddie about her getting married, and they had this entire conversation in the diner about her getting married, and she's like, please don't be mad. Please don't be mad about this. And he's like, no, I'm not mad. I'm happy for you. And I'm like, stop. We do not need this. You could literally have just said, I found out she's getting married. And Venom's like, well, are you upset about it? And he'd be like, yeah, I'm a little bummed out about it. And then move the fuck on. But they literally did that. They literally did that just so they could have her husband show up 3/4 of the way through the movie and do nothing important. Why is her husband in this movie?
And then by the end of the movie, Venom likes him. Venom is a fucking hoe. Venom is out here apparently like falling in love with everybody. And I'm like, this isn't fucking Venom. Don't fucking lie to me. Like,
I can't.
Did you notice that they spent like a whole, like, the one thing that they actually gave a decent amount of exposition to was something that I'm sure they had to do because they didn't talk about it for shit in the first movie. Okay. And it was why he eats brains.
Yeah, they finally gave an explanation
and
for
they
that.
had and they had chocolate everywhere. But then I'm like, I mean, it was just, but it's still like they give this explanation. I'm like, oh fuck, that makes sense. But then I'm like,
but here's the deal.
Chocolate?
We didn't need that though. We needed that in the last movie. That's where we needed that. Like, why they're doing this a movie later for something we already get the point of? Like, look, like literally they could have had no exposition for that and we would just chalked it up as he's an alien that needs to eat. Like, that's all we would have fucking needed. Like, the way...
He likes brains.
We don't need that exposition.
Also, it doesn't really feel like there are consequences in these movies, nor should there be, right? Like, Deadpool, great example. Sure. Deadpool doesn't have fucking consequences for the bitches he's killing.
He can't die.
He doesn't feel bad about it.
He can't die. Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah. But, like, also, like, there are no cops coming after him.
Nope.
Deadpool would probably kill them, too.
Yeah. Period.
You know? Fuck it. Why is Venom letting this little bitch tell him not to kill people? Fuck you. I'll kill whoever the fuck I want. I'll eat whoever's brain I fucking want. Also, like, if his rule is that he has to kill bad people and not good people, which, like, who the fuck do you think you are to decide that shit?
Like, egotistical, you know what I'm saying? Like, get over
yourself.
Yeah,
like,
Eddie
fuck
Brock.
you, Eddie Brock. Yeah. So, like, why don't you, like, you live in fucking San Francisco. There are tons of fucking bad people there. Go find a landlord. Right?
I just, let's move into post-credit scene. Okay, I think we've touched enough on how much
the good and the bad. Yeah.
Let's get to the juicy stuff here. Okay, this post-credit scene was one of the most hype fucking things on the planet. I want to explain here. Okay, Mike Moonpaw in the chat was with me this night, and I cannot express enough how our entire theater blew the fuck up when the yellow blast happens and you hear this sort of like echo and realize it is the same boom from Doctor Strange's One More Day spell that's being shown in the No Way Home trailer. And me and 8 dudes to the left of us were losing their shit. Just absolute, like, but I screamed. I was like, what? I freaked the fuck out. Like, it was so fucking hype, Jenesy.
Okay, so this is the downside of going to see the fucking Friday matinee at Clackamas Town Center.
Sure.
Is that it was me and a bunch of fucking old people.
Yeah.
It was me. So I'm like sitting there freaking out. I'm like, oh shit! And everybody's fucking silent because it's a bunch of creepy old people who talk to me. I was sitting by myself. I'm a young woman alone by myself on a Friday afternoon. And this old man,
Don't you talk to me.
This old man before the movie is talking to me for no reason. And I was like, because I was sitting in like the recliner chairs, right? And so I had it reclined because I'm not a fucking sociopath. And I was just like sitting there eating my popcorn in my fucking seat, getting ready for the trailers like anybody fucking else should. And this old man is walking up to his seat and goes, "Oh, don't fall asleep. You look really comfy." And I was like, don't talk to me. And also react properly to the fucking post-credit scenes, you motherfuckers. It was very an aggravating experience.
I know. You're like, listen, Ed, go get a goddamn donut and some coffee, and then sit down and enjoy your fucking movie. All right, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
And react properly, please. React properly to the fucking right part.
If this will teach you anything, is that you need to no longer go to Marvel movies without us.
That's the truth. That's the real truth. I do know that. Moving forward, we're only seeing them.
We've got you. I got you.
I've learned my lesson.
I got you. It's okay.
Thank you.
We're here for you.
And then you and Devin can fight the creepy old men that talk to me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Exactly. I'm like, take your wife Doris and go get a fucking Filet-O-Fish from McDonald's. All right. God, I love those. Those sandwiches are so good. Anyways.
I was about to say Mr. McRib. But
Hey, we're not slandering the McRib out here. Hey, let's be real, all right? Let's move into the other good stuff here besides the McRib. Tom Holland. Spider-Man. In this post-credit scene, we get confirmation of Venom is now officially in the MCU. Holy shit. This means a lot of different things. Okay, a lot of really
fucking hype.
Really, I was almost in tears. I was fucking like, now we're gonna get a good Venom. Now we can get a good Venom. And because Kevin Feige's going to have his hands all over it, the way he has his hands all over everything else, and me. He's going to have his hands on Venom, and it's going to be absolutely dashing going forward. I'm here for it. I'm so goddamn here for it. The cool things here is the implication that Shriek is a mutant, and Shriek had passed that mutation onto Mulligan to potentially create Toxin, the symbiote from the comics, because that's who Mulligan is. Being carried into Marvel with Venom? ... question mark? Like, there's that implication. There's the implication that in the No Way Home trailer, there's a big shadow figure in a hallway in one of the scenes, and everyone thought that it is either Lizard or it is Venom. And now we can very confidently say it's more than likely Venom, because that thing's massive, and Venom only gets bigger. Like, so it's like,
I know better than to doubt Marvel, right? I know better than to doubt a Marvel movie. But at the same time that I cannot doubt them because I've been taught my lesson. What the is gonna happen in December? Because this movie is gonna be fucking insane.
I don't know.
They have like,
I don't know
how many villains at this point. They're gonna have like 3 different Spider-Mans. Like,
I don't know. I mean, like, this is rad too, because it's like Venom. Technically, there is a point where Venom is kind of involved with the Sinister Six, and that's kind of like what they're utilizing in No Way Home. And it's like there's some cool stuff that they could do. There is some cool stuff that they could do. There is a lot, and Devin knows my grievances about No Way Home because I already know there's a fucking lot in this movie, and I'm stressed. There's stressed because, like,
but at the same time, like, I feel like this is similar to how I felt going into Civil War, right? Because Civil War felt like it was going to be another Avengers movie. I mean, there was just so much that happened in Civil War, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know better than to doubt them. Like, I am stressed, but I know it's all going to be okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, like even the worst Marvel pieces of content, Thor: Dark World,
Are
like
great. Yeah.
the worst of the worst were still just fine. They were good in comparison to other movies. Like never have I
Yeah.
ever implicated that a Thor: Dark World is terrible as a movie. It's just terrible compared to all the amazing
Compared to
Marvel content we've gotten outside of that. I would a million times over rather watch Iron Man 2 than Venom any day of the fucking week. Any day of the fucking week. Because at least, like, that is at least well written and well put together. Whereas Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Let There Be Carnage. Anyways, is just an absolute. It's like taking a soda bottle and just shaking the fucking shit out of it and just opening it and then getting mad because it's spraying all over. Like I just
exploded.
Oh my god, this movie is a heap of fucking dog shit. I'm over it. No, but this is what we were saying. For all of you listeners and viewers at home, is like this movie they very much just made to give us the announcement that Venom's a part of Spider-Man now, and it's just like they just this was such a throwaway movie. It's literally
also so frustrating too because they could have made that more of the actual movie, and that would have made it ultimately a more interesting movie. But it was literally like the 1 minute and 30-second post-credit scene was all we got to be like, oh shit, he's in the MCU now. And that 1 minute and 30 seconds was better than anything that happened in the whole movie.
And even then, it still wasn't as good as it should have been. Like, why were they taking a vacation at the beach? Like what? They had no setup for them being at a vacation in fucking Cancun. Not once did Venom ever say, "Oh, I want to go there." Like he sees a poster of a beautiful beach on the wall or something. He says, "Oh, that would be beautiful." Like nothing. There no reason for them to be there. I would have much rather them be in New York finally instead of San Francisco.
Right.
Venom's from New York in the comics.
Sense.
Like,
and that would have made sense. Spider-Man is in New York. Literally everyone's in New York. Why are they in a beach?
I would have much rather they had a bougie ass hotel in Manhattan and they were like, oh, we're finally here. And then they have the exact same conversation they have in this post-credit trailer. We're like, well, what are we going to do now? Well, I guess we got to go fight more bad guys or whatever, or eat more bad guys. They still could have had that conversation in a place that made more sense. Why it looks like they're in the opening scenes of Fast 6, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Like, I was waiting for Vin Diesel to come out and be like, you need family. And then like the fucking and then Tokyo Drift takes off and it's Venom in a fucking convertible because apparently symbiotes like to drive. God damn it.
Why? But also, like, I think it's interesting too because not only does it doesn't make sense in terms of anything, like it doesn't make sense in terms of the Venom movies. It doesn't make sense in terms of anything that's been happening in the MCU, which like if this is how you're announcing them being in the MCU, why wouldn't you have it be somewhere that makes sense? I mean, they could have put them on an alien planet out of nowhere and it would have made more sense than them being on a beach.
Just as much fucking sense. Like they don't mention anything about needing a vacation. They don't mention anything about like needing to go anywhere. Like literally the only reason that they're a beach, the only explanatory thing at all that I can think of is because they were trying to run away from police force.
Right. But even then, they're go to Ohio. Like go to like there's so many places where the cops won't find you.
Go to Montana.
Nobody's looking in Ohio. Yeah. Go to fucking Idaho.
Go to Montana. Find Superman. Clark Kent is there.
Go to the South.
And then we can have the
no one's gonna find you in the South.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nobody wants to go there anyway.
I mean, they were basically in fucking Florida. Like, I was like, God damn it! Like, I don't understand it, dude. Oh my god, it
doesn't make any sense. But so, and that too is like, it was a really awesome. It was an important post-credit scene.
Yes.
But if you look at like the scale of post-credit scenes, not in terms of like information, because I think information-wise, this is one of the most wild post-credit scenes ever.
Oh,
Like, this is like
implications. Yeah.
Implication wise, it's like insane. I mean, like the reaction wise, the last thing that I remember having a reaction this big was when the twins came. You remember the post credit scene with the twins?
Before like Wanda and her brother, you mean?
Yeah.
Finding that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were gonna be in. Yeah, that was a hype.
That was
a hype one. I'm trying to think. There was a few really fucking hype things in some of the post credit scenes that like were to die for. And like here's the thing. The
a post credit scene.
Yeah,
that was pretty hype. That was actually probably in a similar vein too, because that's when it was confirmed that he was going to be coming into the MCU. Mm-hmm. That was pretty hype.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like it's like, why in the world they did this announcement in this movie is beyond me. Like is it just because they've been planning on having Venom in No Way Home for a while now, and they like because now this explains delays. Right? This explains the delay that No Way Home had when Venom announced their release date, and that had to get moved around. Now we know. Like, there's no way Venom isn't going to be in No Way Home. It just sucks to me that, like, they couldn't find some sort of creative way to give us that announcement without being in this garbage ass movie that like some people aren't going to see this movie because it's not a part of the MCU. There's a lot of Marvel fans that are not seeing this movie because it's not a part of the MCU extended universe. And like
the only reason I watched this movie, Ernell, is because you texted me and said, "Hey, want to come and do a Venom review?" And I was like, "Well, I got to schedule when I'm going to watch Venom 1 and I'm buying my Venom 2 tickets." And that is literally the only reason I have watched any of the Venom movies is because of you.
Because of beautiful, beautiful content, and we're here for it. We're here for
beautiful content.
All of you guys. Hey, listen, me and Jenesy are fucking professionals, okay? We're professionals out here. Yes. We're doing the damn job.
I will put my feelings aside and watch these two shitty movies so that I can report back to the people.
I am you guys at home. I am your whore. I will do what you need me to do in this world. I just the dirtiest slut. Anyways, okay, so we're gonna
yeah, you are, baby.
Let's go. Anyways, OnlyFans. It's onlyfans.com/ it's let's
Do you have an OnlyFans?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's my thing is I need more tummy tattoos before I start doing that. You know what I mean? I gotta get more tummy tattoos. I gotta shape myself out a little bit more before I start pushing as like.
You missed the tattoo expo last weekend, my man.
I know, and Chase, our homeboy Chase, who hangs out with us for gameplay streams, he was there, and he was like, "Oh, you gotta come to this expo," and I was like, "Oh, Jenesy was there." And he was like, "Oh, sick, dude! Yeah, it's beautiful, by the way, beautiful."
Thank you.
The last thing I have for you, Jenesy, here before we end off is predictions. I want to hear your big tinfoil hat that you think we're going to get, especially now knowing what we know. What do you think is going to happen in Spider-Way No Home? Spider-Man No Way Home. What do you think you're going to do?
Okay. Kind of answering your question. I don't have a whole lot of predictions for Spider-Man No Way Home because it is going to be a shit show.
Oh my God, right? Chaos. Chaos.
Okay, actually, no, I do. I don't think we're going to see conclusion in Spider-Man No Way Home. At least not like total conclusion about how he gets out. I think Doctor Strange, because it comes out only 3 months after, I think we are going to pick up at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. I think we're going to get a cliffhanger. And we're going to pick up, and that's why they can get away with having so many goddamn people in this movie, is that we're going to come back in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and he and Wanda are going to go save Peter Parker.
Oh, you think Multiverse of Madness will be a continuation of No Way Home? Oh,
I sure do.
Oh, I like that.
So, I'm so sorry. I'm so unprofessional today.
Listen,
I'm a fucking sweetheart, bro.
If you're hungry, you're hungry. I mean, do your thing, boo boo. Like,
crack my whip. So, anywho, I'm thinking that this movie, technically, Spider-Man No Way Home, is the last like official thing that we have him contracted for.
yes.
But if you'll remember, a year or two ago, we had that big old fight with Mom and Dad, Sony and Marvel, being all me money. And then like all the other Marvel people had to come out and be like, Sony, stop being a fucking pussy. Give us Spider-Man. And Spider-Man was here like the fucking child between the divorced parents that was like, I just want to be in movies. Like, please be nice to me. I'll go wherever you tell me. I love you all. I'll try not to spoil the title this time. And
yeah,
I fucking loved Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I love Tom Holland so much. And I think that because that whole thing didn't entirely make sense because they already had him contracted for No Way Home, right?
Right.
I think they were trying to get the contract for him to be in Multiverse of Madness. Because that would not be on his contract.
Okay.
This is the last one. He had 3 solo movies and 3 additional movies. So that's my tinfoil hat.
Okay. I really do like that. I really do like that idea. That's a really good idea. Like, because sort of treating Multiverse of Madness as a No Way Home Part 2 would be an interesting choice, and when they haven't really played around with a whole lot, and I'm here for it. Like, I really am. Because, like, the only time they've ever really done that is, like, Captain America
Infinity War.
Yeah, Civil War is sort of a...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of it's part 1 of...
It was like of Infinity War.
Yeah, of Infinity War, exactly. Like Infinity War sort of acts
and then
as part
Infinity
2
War
of...
had Endgame. Yeah,
and that's...
It was like a 3-part...
And those are like the 3 best fucking Marvel movies we've had so far. So it's like there's implications here. Implications. I'm here for it. Predictions. Honestly, I have no fucking clue. I like I'm in the same boat as you. I have no idea at this point what the hell they're gonna do with No Way Home. What I can say is I have a feeling that Venom is gonna sort of play much more minimal of a role than I think we're assuming. I think he's not going to be that big of a part of the movie. I'd will
agree.
say my main prediction would be Venom is going to be a good guy by the end of it. I think there's going to be some implications there. I'm curious as to, because there's a scene, right? There's a scene in the trailer where it shows Spider-Man in a black suit. And a lot of people were saying that because of a Funko Pop that got released, that suit is just another like Stark Tech suit. But
yeah, because they did that he had a black suit in the second movie, didn't he?
The noir suit, yeah. That wasn't quite the Night Monkey or whatever it's called. Yeah, because like the Funko Pop,
and that was such a fucking tease. Such a fucking tease.
I know.
We thought we were getting something exciting, and they were like, "Oh no, it's the Night Monkey."
I know, seriously. Well, so the Funko Pop toy, the black suit that's on this specific toy has like a gold trim that's sort of around it, sort of like Black Panther sort of like colors or whatnot. Right. Which would make sense because like Stark's now dead. This could actually just be a Wakandan technology suit, and that would make sense. It would make sense, but it doesn't really show gold trim on the suit in the trailer. And I'm curious as to whether or not Venom somehow finds a way to latch into Peter in this, if even just for a little bit. Like,
also, though, we're dealing with the multiverse, so it doesn't even have to be the Venom we know or the Peter we know. It could be a totally different character, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know about that because because the multiverse like bang that happens in the post-credit scene is very much the multiverses sort of like merging into one, because that's kind of what is supposed to happen. Because I think technically, yes, it does have to be, generally speaking, the Venom that we know, but...
Well, I mean, he will be there, but maybe the guy in the suit.
Oh, you're
isn't
right,
him.
right.
And it's not Peter.
Right.
It's another.
It's a different Tom Holland Peter Parker. I see.
What if? Which Spider-Man was it that in one of his movies he did become the bad
Tobey
Spider-Man?
Maguire's, Tobey Maguire. Yeah.
Tobey Maguire's. What if it's him?
Well, I mean, it does show Tom Holland in the suit. Like, he's
does?
got his mask
Okay.
off. It's a scene where he's running through the cafeteria. In the trailer, there's a scene where he like pushes by a couple of people, and he's in the Feast cafeteria, and Feast is actually a level from the game, but it's rewatch it. I would suggest watching a couple. Like,
I rewatched it like 10 times, and like I'll have to do that because like I watched it like 10 times, and I watched it like a few days ago. And for the first time, saw it. This is why I have to watch it every few days, because every few days I have a new realization about this fucking trailer. That's all I'm going to be doing until September.
Sure.
And it's funny because I do that with so many things. I've been doing that with the goddamn clip of Bridgerton, like watching it to think that I'm going to see something that I didn't see the first 5 times I watched this fucking clip.
Yeah.
But I have nothing better to do in like the 4 months before they release goddamn Bridgerton. So, but I realized that Doctor Strange is holding a mug in the like when Peter goes to talk to him, and it's like the exact same mug that my mother-in-law has. It says, "Oh, for Fox's sake," because we're the Foxes. If you didn't know, my fiance's last name is Fox, so we have Fox shit all over the place. And I was like, dude, Doctor Strange has the same mug as us.
Oh, that's cute. I'm here for that.
Anyw's not important. Not an important realization in the scope of the MCU, but it was very important to me.
I get it. Yeah. No, it's.
Yeah, that's interesting though. I think that's an interesting hypothesis. I'm hoping that bringing him into the MCU, bringing Venom into the MCU, we'll get a little bit more backstory, because even the way that they introduced him into the MCU in that post-credit scene was sloppy. It very much reeked of Sony, because he looks at the TV screen with Peter Parker's face and he says, "Him, we hate him." Why? Venom, why the fuck do you hate him? Like, that's the one thing you're gonna fucking say. And then they're basically like, "Oh, we need to go find him and kill him." But like, so like that's how we know he's gonna be in the next movie. But it's like, why do you see this child on the TV and your immediate reaction is, must go bite his head off?
Yeah. They don't accept. No exposition whatsoever. They're not going to until the next movie. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to give any fucking reason to the next movie when it no longer fucking matters. No longer fucking matters. We don't care. We don't need that explanation.
We're already here. Yeah. I am really curious if it's going to be like, because as soon as Marvel gets their hands on shit, once Kevin Feige gets his hands on shit, it's a totally different ballgame. So I'm wondering if Venom will like start to make sense. But like, also, he can't be in it that much. Like, the movie's only like 2.5 hours long?
Yeah, I think they said
Spider-Man?
like 2 like 40 or something
240?
like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It's
that's not that long. I mean
all it is, long. But all things
it's not 3 hours. It's not the 3 hours we got for Endgame that we honestly still could have done with a longer movie.
It's
where's
true.
our Snyder's cut?
Right. Let's be real. And Snyder
cut would
not fix this.
Uncut masterpiece.
Snyder would not have fixed this movie. I can promise you guys that. I can also promise you guys that we are so happy for y'all watching this, because this has been the Good Kraken and Let's Get Bitchin' crossover event. Your choice for all the video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday, usually at 12 p.m. If you enjoyed this, please go check us out on your podcast service of choice. But you can also check us out by looking us up on your podcast service of choice by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. Jenesy, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. I appreciate you. I really do.
Thank you, Ernell. I appreciate you.
Of course. Guys, schedule on Tuesday. We're doing another Good Kraken podcast episode. On Wednesday, we are starting up Man of Medan, which is the Dark Pictures anthology game on Wednesday. It's going to be me and Devin. And then on Friday, we're going to continue it that night, hopefully get that finished. And next Saturday, we're doing another regular Good Kraken podcast. It is spooky season, y'all. We are playing nothing but spooky stuff all this month, doing all the fucking horror games, all the good juicy stuff. Please come in and hang out. We appreciate you guys. But until next time, my friends, be good to each other. Let there be carnage.